Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, everyone. And thank you so much for being here. I am Jade, if you're new here. And welcome to my live. And today, you guys, we have a special guest, a very dear friend of mine, Maribel. And we are going to be breaking down the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7. We're going to be discussing a little bit of the reunion and also season 7 um, episode 1, I think. I don't know. We're just going to play it by ear. So, Maribel, say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me.
Good, good, good. Listen,
Thanks for
I am
having
so
me.
happy that you are here. I am so happy that you are here. Let me tell you. Yeah, I feel like there is nobody I'd rather do this with than you, actually. So, welcome.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you.
for accepting my invitation. So,
Of course,
right.
I am happy to be here.
So, did you end up watching? What did you think about the reunion? Let's start with that.
Child.
What did you think? Tell us.
That was epic. That was, oh boy. It just kept, okay, so I know a lot of the Housewife franchises. From what I
Mhm.
know, Reunion Max is 3 episodes. This was 4.
Yes.
That stays a lot.
Yes.
So I was like, wow, wow,
Right.
wow, wow, wow. It was so expository,
Right.
especially even if you haven't seen the what's it called? Even if you didn't see this season,
The entire season 6.
the
Yeah.
reunion is so
Mm.
expository. It
Right.
just it gives you more than the gist of
Right.
what everything was about and what everyone was about.
Right.
And shoot, Nicki Minaj's part of it, her
I know.
co-hosting
I
was
know.
the best.
I know.
I felt like she came with the kill questions.
Mhm.
She was just like shoot, 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 shoot.
Right.
And I felt like that was also the intent because Andy could not have, gone that hard.
Yeah,
Um,
because I think the reason why he can't hold these women's feet to the fire is because he has a relationship with them, you know. So he's very familiar with them. He's become friends with them even. So there are some things that he really can't say to them because he doesn't want to maybe offend them. I don't know. I
I
think
absolutely agree.
right.
I felt so too. I felt
Mhm,
like, you know what? He's they've been on the show for such a long time.
mhm.
He's built that relationship with them where when you care about someone, you don't want to put them on the spot. You
Right,
don't want to get on their last nerves. You don't
right,
want to call them out.
right.
So I felt like yeah, he had that. And also he's a host and part of his job is to keep the peace.
Yeah, and also
And
not be and just try as much as possible not to be biased, you
yeah,
know. But
yeah, and not take sides basically, and
and not
keep the peace.
show, yeah, and also not to show that he has a clear favorite. Right? I think he does, and I think he has a clear favorite, and I think it's these two crazy ladies here. I don't
Mhm.
know. Were you able to catch anything though? Like with terms of what they did, throughout the entire season.
Um, um,
Okay, maybe I should
so
tell you.
from
Maybe I should
no,
give you, and then maybe I should like start and give you like a Reader's Digest version of what happened, and then maybe. Okay, so these two at the beginning of the season, they came hard, like they always do every season. They have this mindset of always going after women who are married, and then they come up with this rumor about, oh, this one's husband is cheating on this one, and da 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 da. And so they tried it with Wendy, okay? And
mhm.
Wendy was like, not today, saying, you're not doing that with my husband. My husband is like a no-go area. That's not happening, right?
Mhm.
And so she really read them fulfilled. Like she went in, she said some things that are really, because these women in the past, when they have done things, when they have said like really, really like really awful things about the women in the past. Those women never really hold them accountable, right? Those women never really push back or whatever. They just kind of cut them some slack and let them go. And then there's this mentality, oh, let's not take them seriously because it's just Giselle and Robin. Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But when this happened, and Wendy is like, no, I'm not going to let you bring my marriage into this situation. I'm not going to sit back and let you accuse my husband of cheating over something that you read on the blogs that not more than 100 people ever read, but you brought it to national television where they have like millions of people, millions of viewers, listening to this. So I'm not going to let you do this. And she read and fulfilled, like she really dragged them. And for the first time, they were held accountable for all the awful things that they have done. And so they didn't like that very much. So they got really angry and they've been holding on to that ever since. They accused Wendy. They said some really, really awful things to Wendy that just wasn't nice at all.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's basically they said she had like the boob jobs and she had like the she did the her bum because she
Mhm.
was she didn't have any or she was feeling she had low self-esteem or something. There's a word that they used that was really degrading. um
They said something about at the reunion. I heard them say something about she wanted to keep up with the Instagram models that her husband was supposedly, cheating
right,
with, because
right,
that's
right.
why she got her butt done. Like
Mhm.
I heard that. Um.
Right. That's what they were saying. Those are some of the things that they were saying. Like,
Mhm.
imagine all the time that you spend researching, stalking somebody's husband to see who they are following, stalking them enough to know that they follow like big bum models, models with a big booty, and then come back to the group in front of the camera and start and report. Like, they're disgusting. So, yeah.
First of all, those two ladies were they were the beginners. They were part of the beginners because I remember
Yeah,
season one
yeah,
and two. They were
yeah.
there from day one.
They're like the
And they've
OGs. Yeah.
always, yeah, they've always had this friendship, and I'm surprised that it's to the test of time, if you may. I'm
Right.
glad that they're still
You know
friends up
why?
until
Can
this
I tell you
season.
why? The
Right.
reason why it has stood the test of time is because Robin, the one with the short hair,
Mhm.
she goes along with whatever Giselle says. She doesn't ask any question. You know how when you
Mhm.
have two friends and one is willing to just be the dominant for the other person, doing the person's beating and always defending the person, even when she knows her friend is wrong, she does not ever hold her friend accountable. When there is a situation, she immediately goes to defending Giselle. So of
Yeah.
course the relationship is going to last because it's not based on mutual respect. It's based
Yeah.
on one person being the dominant, being used, being the always coming to the other person's defense. Of course it's going to last because there is no challenge, right? Whatever
Mhm.
Giselle says, Robin will be like, okay, sure, let's do it this way. If Giselle wants something done, if she wants to drag somebody's husband and she wants it to be a situation where her name doesn't really get in the mud as much, she uses Robin. And Robin is a willing participant. Robin is more than happy to basically be her ping pong machine, basic big ping pong ball or something. So
Yeah.
that's why, if it was a situation where both of them had the same mutual respect for one another and no one is having to defend another person, the relationship would have fallen apart a long time because these two are just terrible people, you know.
Yeah.
Like there is no
But
way a
it's just,
relationship is gonna last. And then there is something that people always say that, oh, Giselle, Robin is so nice. Robin has a different energy when Giselle is not there. And so they make it seem as though Giselle is like the devil pushing Robin. I think Robin, based on some of the things that I saw in the last season, she's just as bad. She's just as bad as Giselle. I think she enjoys Giselle always being the one to take the fall. okay, Robin did this, let's blame Giselle. It's Giselle that is like the puppet master pulling all the strings and stuff. So yeah, that's why they have lasted. They're like, oh geez. I was even thinking that they knew each other all the way from maybe high school or whatever. No, she's like almost 10 years older than her. And they only knew each other like a year before they got together for the show.
You know how you say, yeah, you know how Nikki even mentioned it when she said, when she highlighted the part where Giselle was telling Robin something that happened, and Robin said, "So who are we mad at?"
Hmm.
You know, so,
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Who are we mad
and
at? So
yeah,
she takes the cue from Giselle. You know, it's
and you
like
know,
they
like,
wake it's like they wake up in the morning and they're like, so who are we gonna be mad at today? Whoever Giselle say we should be mad at is who we are going to be mad at. Like, what kind of
like
a life is that?
well, you see, that's why it's easy for people to excuse Robin or alienate her, because it's almost like you say, "I have no bone in the fight," right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's almost like Robin has really no interest in coming after someone. She's not that, she has no bone in the fight,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really go as hard. She doesn't care enough to, want to make any point clear.
That's the
But
thing, though.
if Giselle does, then she passively goes along with it. She
Mm-hmm.
lets Giselle shine, and you could tell Giselle is the feisty one, or the one that basically have more of the intentions to let out. And
Mm-hmm.
Robin, um, eh, she could fall either way. She has no almost personal vendetta against a lot of these people, a lot of these other women.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, because I felt that way more about her, because even when Giselle was saying something in this new season 7, episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
about um the other lady's husband, what's her name, the singer,
Yeah, Candace. Yeah.
Candace's husband,
Yeah,
talking to
Chris.
her, pulling her to the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom,
Yeah.
and was trying to talk to her, and
Yeah.
Robbie said something to her in something of, saying something about, so what if he was just, because you're close to them, what if he was just trying to talk to you about, what is it called, his wife,
Right.
because you're close to his wife. And in her confessional, she said, well, he did not touch her. He did not say anything appropriate to her. Robin kind of made it clear in her confessional that this man did not say anything to you,
Right.
neither did he touch you
Right.
inappropriately. It's almost as if she was calling out Giselle without calling her out. So she
Yeah.
was making it clear out there, silently saying, what's your problem?
Right.
Because,
And you know what's interesting? This is like the first time that she has even attempted to call Giselle out. Okay. And I
mhm,
think I think the reason why that is because a people are starting to get tired of them. They want to be in control, right? They want to like who they like and dislike who they don't like. They want to be in a situation where they get to pick and choose who they are beefing with today, but they don't want people to be mad at them because they know that if everyone is mad at them at the same time, they are not going to win. So they pick and choose. So they are very calculating, and they know that it's not in their best interest to add candidates to the list of the people that they are mad at. So they are comfortable with being just mad at Wendy as of right now. Okay. And I think Robin had us fooled for a very long time, and making people think that, oh, she's just this meek one, she's very very docile, she's non-confrontational. But I have seen throughout the franchise, I have seen instances where Robin is very much an aggressor. She goes in your face, and I think she enjoys playing the role of, oh, she's not bad, she's only bad because Giselle tells her to be bad. Other than that, she's good. I think she plays into that very well because she doesn't want to come off as though many of the things happening between the group, that she really has a direct hand in it. That's the thing that I have come to say, especially with the way she has been going in on Wendy. You're gonna the next episode. I think you're gonna see, or the one after. I think it's on
Yeah, I
episode.
did see that. I did see that, and that's the thing with someone like Giselle. You know where she stands.
Exactly.
She
You know
makes it
she's
clear.
messy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And with someone like Robin, she tries to be unnecessarily complex,
Right.
and it's no need for that.
Mhm.
They say whatever you are, be a good one. Again, if you want to be this person, then be that person. There's no need to because that could come off as very manipulative, and
Right.
that could come off as just not being true to whatever you feel you are. And that's where it's hard for me, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I like Robin, and that was from maybe the first and the second season, because
Right. Me
she,
too.
she
Me
she
too.
didn't have
I
a reason
really,
not to like her,
I
even if there
really
was no
like
reason
her.
to like her. It was just like
Yes.
there's no reason not to. She
Yes.
was just those people among this
Yes.
kind of people that there's no reason not to like them.
Yes.
So
True.
you just
True.
like them because of that.
True. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I
the,
really
the,
liked her. At the beginning, I was even like, well, you know what? It's a good balance between her friendship. Well, I at the beginning I thought her friendship with Giselle was a good balance because one of them is like calm and the other one is messy. At first, that was my mindset, but then I started seeing some of the things that she was doing. For example, something happened between Ashley, and then she stormed into Ashley's restaurant, and she was putting her finger on Ashley's face. And Ashley was like, "Don't put your finger on my face." And then she walked like two steps closer and she said, "This is putting my finger in your face." Like, she's very aggressive. Okay. Like, people don't always see that. People just see the Zell, Robin, the docile Robin, the milk Robin, but she's very much an aggressor, and it's disgusting. I can't even believe. I guess part of the reason why I am so mad at myself is that she fooled me. I thought she was cool. I thought she was nice. Only for
well,
me to really see, especially in season 6, she really, really brings her true character, who she really is. She didn't end there. Eh? You need to see what this lady did, like to the point where, because she was so mad at Wendy, and this is in season 7, because she
uh-huh.
was so mad at Wendy, and Wendy refused to bow down to them, to her and Giselle, she openly invited.
Oh yeah, that
Did
was
you
that was
see that?
sad. I saw that.
Did
Yeah,
you
that was
see
really
that?
sad. That was very low. Yeah, I did see that. She didn't invite her kids, right?
And then, because once she realized that she's gonna get a lot of backlash from it, guess what she did? She was like, Wendy's still not invited, but Candace can actually go and ask Wendy if Wendy can let her children come so that Candace can bring the children to the
Yeah,
party that their mother wasn't invited to.
yeah.
And Wendy was like, no, that's not happening. And so she's very calculating, because as soon as and did you watch the party itself, the family fun day? Did you get to see that?
What episode was that?
I think it's episode 4. Don't worry.
Okay, not yet.
Yeah,
Not
you're
yet.
gonna get to, when you see that it wasn't even a well thought out event. It wasn't well put together. It was something that she just rambled through, just to make a point, just to show Wendy that I can have a party and not invite you.
Mm.
It was so
And
sad.
though, one thing to make you feel a little better about your perception of her in the beginning is
Mhm.
the fact that um reality TV have a way of revolutionizing people. So people, not evolutionizing. That's what I
Right,
was
right,
going to
right, right,
say.
right,
Not
right, right,
evolutionizing people
right.
in the sense where maybe who you perceived her to be was who she actually was.
Yeah,
And as time goes on, or as time went on in the show, the longer they stay on this TV, the more they want to stay on it, the more they want to bring the drama, like
right,
they say, the more they want to make a point, the more they want to
right,
make a mark, the more they want to be controversial.
right.
So I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the perception a lot of people had about her from the beginning might
Was
just be who
not
she
the real
really
one, was
was.
the fake
No,
one. Yeah.
no, I feel like that might be who she really was. I mean, for Robin, the perception we have at the beginning of the show,
Hmm.
season one and season two, might be who she really was. And as time goes on, the longer she stays on reality show, the more she evolves. And reality show, like I said, encourages that kind of evolution where you start becoming
Because you want
drama.
to,
You
because you
start
want to,
becoming feisty. You start becoming more aggressive. You start just being unnecessarily distasteful
because you want to
because
stay
that
in
keeps
the
you
show.
longer.
Yeah, because that keeps you longer on the show. Otherwise, the audience are gonna get bored of you, and they're gonna.
That's the thing because that Robin of season one and season two, the world we're leaving will kind of get tired of that Robin from
Mhm,
season three, and they'll
mhm.
start feeling like, oh, this person is boring. They have no storyline. They're this and that, you
Right,
know. So
right,
I feel like as time went on, she felt the need to not be who she originally started out to be. Now,
mhm,
whether that's her real person or that's who she wanted to portray, that's left to her to decide because
mhm,
we don't know her personally. But I
right,
feel like her staying long in the show,
right,
you know, evolved her from who she initially started to be because that person was sweet and cool and nice, but it was not gonna work out for reality TV in the long run.
right,
And
right.
I think maybe that's what happened with her.
And case in point, right? Let me give you a perfect example of that. Wendy Osefo, right?
Hmm.
When Wendy came in, she was this smart, intelligent professor at John Hopkins University, like an Ivy League university, right?
Hmm.
And she had all these 4 degrees, and she had a master's, and she has a PhD, like very, very intelligent,
Hmm.
and so, at first people liked her, but then people grew tired of Wendy always throwing her 4 degrees on people's face. Before you say one thing, she'll be like, I have 4 degrees. Like, people get tired, quickly get tired, easily get tired of stuff like that, right? And
Hmm.
so, next season, season six, because she came in season five, and then season six, Wendy came back with a boob job and a booty job or whatever it was that she did with she became a whole different person, right?
Hmm.
And then she was wearing revealing clothes, showing off her new breasts and such. So that was where the problem actually started between Giselle, Robin, and Wendy, because they were like, what is her problem? Why is she all of a sudden being this way? This is completely different from the kind of Wendy that we knew last year. What is the problem? What's with the outfit she's wearing forever? They called it Forever 21 outfit, that she was leaving her boobs hanging and wearing, things that are just not ideal for the person
And
that they knew
yeah.
before. Okay. So that
And
was
that's
what.
sad. That's
Mhm.
sad because it's almost like for you to stay on reality TV, you have to
Change
be
yourself.
part of a certain lifestyle. You have to be a part of,
Mhm.
you just have to stay on that niche of reality show that for someone like maybe from Wendy's background, it's not very
Mhm.
typical to be in a reality show. It's not very
Mhm.
typical to be in reality TV. And if you're
Mhm.
gonna go on reality TV, your background and all your degrees and all those things is not sustained in reality TV. In
Mhm.
other sectors of life, it's excellent, it's perfect. But in a lot of reality TV, unfortunately,
People don't want to
it's
see
seen
that.
as,
Yeah.
yeah, it's seen as boring. It's seen as you acting
Mhm.
like you're better than everyone else. It's seen
Mhm.
as you being arrogant, or like you just basically you feeling like you're supreme because
Mhm.
in in a community like that you might have all the money and all of that, but when you are from a certain background, and by background I don't mean financial.
I
It's a
know what you
lot
mean.
more
Yeah.
from a career part. If you're from a certain background and you go into reality show, eventually for you to stay there, you got to start, you know um
Hmm.
um you got to start winding down. I don't want to say winding down, but I'm lacking the words. But you
You have
gotta
to,
start,
yeah, you have
you
to
know,
change yourself to,
yeah, you gotta
to be
start, trying
someone
to
else.
feed into the stereotype
Right.
of reality TV. And someone was saying, even Nikki asked her, like, how did you come from here to selling candles? That's like,
Right.
it's not, it's not what you started to
But
be
you know
about.
what? I totally understand that though. I totally understand having that mindset of always actively. There is no box for you. I'm kind of that person. Like there is no box. There is nothing that I cannot do in this life. I don't care if it is along my field. I don't care. As long as it is something that makes me feel challenged and make me feel accomplished and make me just want to like continue to grow and evolve and learn. I am, especially when it comes to my business and my walks of life and my profession, I can go from A to Z. I can start here and end up somewhere else. And so in a way I kind of understood even when what's her name? Nikki was asking her, I'm like, what's wrong with that? Because
But yeah, yeah, me too. I feel like, of course, she can sell whatever she wants to sell. That's why I said it's unfortunate,
right,
because everyone should have the ability to,
do
do
anything.
whatever,
Yeah,
have the ability to. You should not be boxed.
right,
You should be whatever you want to be and sell it
right,
as long as it's legal.
right.
So that's why I said it's unfortunate, because when it comes down to the reality franchise, it's seen as though it's two different ends of the spectrum. So if you came from doing music, it's easier to go into doing movies. It's easier to be in the showbiz, and there's so many sectors of the showbiz. It's easier. It's part of the broad industry. But
Right.
now, when someone comes from a different sector, like sector of being a professor, sector
Mm-hmm.
of being a teacher, sector of being, what is it called, a motivational speaker,
Mm-hmm. A
hosting
commentator.
events, a
Right.
commentator, or being in the media. When you're from that sector, white collar sector, basically, or whatever, when you're coming from that sector. It's easier for people to understand you branching to other aspects of that sector. So
Mm-hmm.
if she came from the sector she came from, which we already established what her background was, and
Mm-hmm.
she went into anchoring news,
Mm-hmm.
she would be more accepted in that field. If she went into, the teaching field, of course, more accepted. If she went into mentoring children in Big Brother, Big Sister, perfect. If
Mm-hmm.
she went into politics, or becoming the mayor of her city or whatever, it's almost more acceptable when you're
Right.
in that sector, and you can branch to other facets of that sector where it's not on the other end of the spectrum. So
Right.
it's hard for people to reconcile. It's hard for people to just think it's okay when it's
Right.
like two spectrums, which, like we
Right.
said, it's not okay. You should be able to branch out to whatever field you want to. So when
Right.
Nikki mentioned that, I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. If she wants to sell candles, and she wants to sell candles, that's
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a
But
billion
then
dollar
again,
industry.
what she said was what's in a lot of people's mind that watch reality show.
Right, right, right. And it's true, and people don't like different. People want messy. People don't want proper when it comes to reality shows. People don't want, and I think she's still finding her footing. She's still trying to understand the whole show and the way, like, she's still trying to understand. She's still trying to find her place on the show. And so every season she's evolving. I noticed that after she was shamed, seriously and mercilessly shamed during the last season, this season she has started to cover up a bit more, you know
Hmm.
because she doesn't want to be shamed anymore by Giselle and the others. And some people
Mhm.
might interpret that as, oh, so what you were showing last year was not your authentic self. So you were pretending, you were being someone that you were not. I don't think so. I think sometimes people can actually shame you into being something else other than your real self, you know? So, because I saw a lot of that with people saying, oh, you must not be the Wendy that you were saying last time. Because when she was being confronted all over the place, that, oh, why the change? Why did you switch from the Wendy, the professor, the confident to this person? And she said, but this is also who I am, you know? So, and now I noticed that she has completely switched from that. She doesn't wear those revealing outfits anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, people are now going to start saying, oh, so last year, who you said you were last year was not really who you are. You know, so it's just
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah. I
I
think
think.
go
Mhm.
ahead.
I think with reality show, the majority of the audience watch reality show for entertainment.
Correct.
People are not, a lot of the times are not watching it to be educated
Right.
in a sense, or to be informed in a sense. And by educated, we can be educated in different ways. So when
Yeah.
I meant educated, I meant secularly, you know.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
you could be educated socially by watching it. You could understand what's going on in your
Right.
society and, you know,
Yeah.
human relationship and all that. But a lot of the times when people watch, so which is also a part of education, but
Mm-hmm.
the major reason why the majority of people watch the show is to be entertained. People have
Right.
long days, busy life, difficulties going
Right.
on, so they want to watch the messiness of others
Right.
and gain entertainment from that.
Right.
And
Because
it's a guilty pleasure because you should not be
mm-hmm.
entertained by messiness. You should not be entertained by people pulling each other down. But that's why it's guilty pleasure. Because
Right.
guess what? That takes you away from your own messiness.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, and so what that's why a lot of people watch reality show is for that
Right. It's
entertainment.
an
So if
escapism sort of. They're
yeah,
escaping from real life. Yeah.
yeah, if people want scholarly education, they know where to go, you know. They will not be looking for it on reality show. If they want the bookworm kind of education where
Right.
it's scholarly, where it's Dr.
I understand.
Seuss, you know, they
Yeah.
will not go there. And
I
then with people, you know, making talking about this is not who you are, this is not your real self, you're trying to be someone else. Sometimes I feel like we put so much pressure on each other where how can you tell me who my real self is?
right.
So
Right. Right.
the fact that I'm different this year than I was last year doesn't mean that this year is not my real self. It's my
Yeah.
new real self. How about that?
How about that?
You know, people be
Right.
confusing other people where even when it's yourself, you're questioning yourself like,
Right.
well, let me go try to be this person that they think is me so I can
I know.
continue to be perceived as my real self. It's
Right.
okay for people to be different versions of themselves because
True.
we're dynamic, you know, and if people are gonna always come for people and say you're not your real self, well, guess what? You're the reason I'm not my real self because you're not
Exactly.
allowing me to even find my real self. You keep,
Exactly.
you know, you keep making me confused as to who I am. Because
Right. Right.
last
Right.
time I was this person, you all were talking, and now I'm trying to be more confirmative, and you're still
It's
talking. Like, yo,
meaning.
like, who am I? I don't even know who my real self is because of you guys, and it's just too much pressure on people and
I
too much
know.
people calling people out about who they are. You
Right.
don't. How do you know who someone's real self is? We're so complex as people that sometimes we are still finding ourselves in different ways.
Correct.
So you calling me out or not knowing or not being my real self, you don't even know who your real self will be a year or 2 years from now.
You don't.
You know,
Exactly. People
so
change.
I'm not done figuring out my real self. Can
Exactly.
I be allowed to?
Exactly. Things happen, you know. I might
Hmm.
wake up one morning and want to be a leprechaun. Let me be a leprechaun, you know.
Yeah, can I be allowed? Yeah,
Yeah. Let
let
me be
people be.
whoever I want to be.
Yeah, let people be free to explore different facets of
Right.
their beings, and you know, and they say change is constant, right? So my real self last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, you've known me, is subject to change.
Correct.
And is
Correct.
that is that okay? So
Exactly.
so that's also another thing with that. So I feel like
Right.
a lot of the time we just put each other in this confusing place where we're always tossing each other like, okay, this is not you, and then
Mhm.
you try to be that person that they said they think you are, and then someone else is calling you out, you just switched on to this person. Like,
Right.
let's people just be them and don't take
Right.
them too seriously.
Right. Right. And also, about the, how we're talking about reality. People just want to use reality show as an escape, to escape their own reality, or just the reality of whatever is going on. I remember in one of my other shows that I really enjoy watching, and they were talking about the Black Lives Matter issues, and a lot of the fans were pushing back on that. They just don't want to hear that. They didn't sign up for a reality show to talk about black problems and black issues and police brutality or whatever. So people, they always push back, and that's why. And the producers of the shows, they listen to the viewers, right?
Hmm.
Viewers don't want to hear about Black Lives Matter. They don't want to hear about it. You don't have to bring what is happening in the real world into, reality show. And I was watching Real Housewives of New York, and there was the first, I believe she was the first full black um, cast member. They had a lot of falling out because every 5 seconds she was talking about Black Lives Matter. She was talking about Donald Trump and his racism and such. And viewers were turned off by it. And according to the report, they had the lowest, the season that the black lady was in was the lowest rating they had in the history of the show. And the show has been on since 2006, and this was in 2020. So from 2006 to 2020, that's like 14 years. They had the lowest rating because of this lady, because she was always talking about social justice and everything that was happening. And these were things that were actually happening in real life, but the audience, the viewers, they just didn't want to see. They don't want to hear it. They tune. I was even reading a comment, and somebody said, "I didn't tune in to hear about Black Lives Matter. I tuned in to escape Black Lives Matter. I tuned in to see the beautiful houses and the way they live, and to know the latest about the cosmetology and whatever is the latest cosmetic stuff, surgery or whatever. That's the reason why I'm tuning in. I'm not tuning in to listen to what's going on or to hear what's going on in the real world. You understand? So yeah. So that's just
And that's also a thing too. Too much of everything is bad. Doesn't matter how good something is. Too much of it is bad.
right, right,
Back to time for everything.
right,
And then again, I can also look from the point of view of the other set of people that would say, well, you guys should also be able to incorporate what is going on in our society somehow into your show, so it doesn't seem like your franchise is leaving it out, or it doesn't seem like your franchise
right.
are not supportive of what's
Because
going
that
on.
will make it not real, and we're supposed to be in a reality show, right? We're
Yeah,
watching reality show.
and it will also, and a lot of the shows and productions, and they want to always be in solidarity. They want to always address, what the event of the moment is a
Right,
lot of the time. But then the question is how much of it is too much,
right, right.
because that's what you're doing the entire time. It's not a platform for that exclusively,
Mm-hmm,
and uh, it might not be anything wrong with acknowledging it,
mm-hmm.
maybe in an episode, maybe for a short time, maybe, but not, don't make it the conversation ground. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
let it be what it is. Let the show
Right,
be what it is,
right, right,
entertainment, just casual stuff, not
right,
something so serious, because life is so serious as it is.
right,
And yeah, I can see why,
right,
people feel that way about it.
right, right. Anyway, let's round up. We're almost 40 minutes, so let's
Oh
round
wow,
up.
so
And
soon, huh?
I know. Time goes by when you're having fun, they say. Right. So. I had fun today. I enjoyed doing this with you.
I know, me
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
it was so exciting to just catch up on it, and it's been a fun show. I look forward to watching more of it and doing more of
Will you
this. And
come back?
of course, I will.
Okay.
I always have fun doing whatever we choose. So
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
this,
Awesome. Great. So thank you so much. And yeah.
thank
And
you.
yeah, so catch you later. I'll text you
All
later.
right, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for having me, and
So
enjoy the rest of your day.
bye.
Bye.